Assalamualaikum and hi student. Okay, today is week 10 and we have another 2 weeks or 3 weeks to finish our uh, program, our subject BITP 3223. So today I will talk about the chapter 10 about project monitoring. Okay, so project monitoring is very important when you manage your software development life cycle. Yeah. Monitoring is very important to get the project status and why we do a project monitoring because we want to make sure that the project can be success can be delivered on time according to the schedule that agreed upon discussion upon agreement from the user perspective and also the developer perspective. Uh, along the project or software development life cycle, there are many phases, and the project manager role should be include the monitoring task. Yeah, right after the project is started. Yeah, until the end of uh, the project where you implement the system. Yeah. So during the implementation also you don't think that the monitoring is done, but you must make sure that all the implemented software is running and in place according to the specification we agree in the uh, beginning of the project where we stated in the software requirement analysis report. So when we talk about project monitoring, it's a very lengthy topic. Uh, so I think this chapter is better that we share the experience rather than we follow the what the book said. Right? So today content is will include the discussion about the purpose of the project monitoring, which is I already told just now, and then we will discuss about the process, how to monitor the project status, how to monitor the software development lifecycle project. Yeah, and then we discuss about the project monitoring status input, how we get the source of input to monitor the projects or software development lifecycle project. And then we go to the project monitoring status output. What is the output after you perform the project monitoring? So of course, it is not done verbally. Yeah, monitoring not saying that you go and see chatting with your staff and asking question one, question two, question three, and then you go back. But after you complete your monitoring process, so you need to produce a report, to update the top management or the project committee, project uh, owner, so that they aware about the progress and the status of the software development life cycle for produce the new system for the user. So another step is to prepare status assessment. How what is the step to prepare the status assessment and handling exception and problem. So when you monitor the project, of course, uh, there are or there is exception or problem will be raised during that period. Okay, let's say you monitor every month, you do the monitoring progress every month or every 2 months. So maybe a lot of exceptional condition or exceptional problem will be raised during that period. Then we discuss about change request, or they call it uh, change management, also involved in change management. When there is a request, so uh, it should involve the change management process. Yeah? Change request means once the system is started, developed the software, in the middle, maybe there are many changes. Yeah, or user asks another edit or another functionality or additional functionality, or they want to change the user interface. Yeah, from A to B or from A to C. So firstly, we you need to ask, when you want to perform the project monitoring, what is monitoring all about? So monitoring is a regular observation and recording of activities taking place in a project. Means that this is a routine checking. Yeah, you need to perform for each of the activity defined in the project plan. For example, uh, you start with the requirement analysis elicitation, yeah, or requirement collection. So you need to observe, yeah, regular observe, or regular observe means continuous observation. Yeah, means every week, yeah, or every month. Yeah. And during the observation, of course, you need to record, yeah, and then report the activities done by the project team. And monitoring is a routine gathering of information, on all aspects of the project. Means that gathering information means you collect the input, yeah, uh, you collect the problem, yeah, issue, barriers, difficulty faced by the technical person, yeah, the programmer, the system analyst, uh, whether in the technical part or the functionality part. Yeah, and also we gather regarding the people issue. Yeah. Maybe some of the project team uh, got problem with one to another. Okay, so another meaning of project monitoring is to check on how project activities are progressing. So the main objective of this monitoring is to check how the project activities are progresses. So if we don't do the project monitoring, so we don't know the progress of our project. Yeah, we don't know. We cannot measure the software requirement activity progress. Yeah. Yeah, is it started already, or in the middle, or already finished, or the requirement analysis still under review by the user? So any obstacle during uh, certain phases, so we can cater in early stage if we practice the project monitoring regularly or routinely. Yeah. Sorry, I got flu today. So the purpose of project monitoring. So the purpose of project monitoring is to capture current status of the project and regular reporting to project director or top management. So capture means you collect the information, and then after you get the facts, the data, so you know the status of your software development lifecycle. So this will be used for you, easy for you to present to the project director or top management. When they ask you, then you have data, and then you can answer the current status of the project. So another purpose is to evaluate status against plan. So remember that at the first stage of the software development life cycle, we have to produce the project schedule. Project schedule where you you plan the project milestone. So what to deliver in first month, second month, third month, fourth month, or 6 month, and then that is a plans. Then you need to monitor, and then when you do the monitoring, so you know that your plan uh, is uh, ahead of the schedule or behind of the schedule or no progress at all. Yeah. So the purpose of project monitoring also dealing with a change request and scheduling of the project for the current or future requirement. So means that when you do the monitoring, so you know the change of the functionality. You know that there is changes request by the customer, by the user. So if you don't do the monitoring, maybe your project team uh, keep in silent. Yeah. So they just put under carpet all the requests, put under carpet, and that's why we need to monitor, and then we need to some kind of very short meeting every week to get the status of the project. Okay. So without the meeting, maybe very difficult to get the information. So you busy with your task, and the project team or software development team is busy with the code and design, for example. So there is a mechanism how you want to collect or how you want to get the status of your project. But the best way is conduct the very quick meeting every week or every day. Just take 15 minutes and talk to your project team. And then the purpose of project management also dealing with issue and problem encountered in the project. So if you don't do the monitoring, so you don't know the issue and problem raised in the software development lifecycle project. So when you know the issue and the problem, you can deal with the issue and problem uh, through discussion, through uh, consensus from the project team. Yeah. And this is very important if you can trigger the issue and problem at early stage. So how to get this issue and problem at early stage is through a regular project monitoring. Yeah. So without monitoring, I think it it is impossible to get or to know about the issue and problem encountered in the project. Yeah. Same like your project workshop too right now. Yeah, maybe your team members is very silent, uh, keep sleeping, keep stay put in the house, no contact, no communicate between project members. Then uh, you can try to conduct one meeting. I think a lot of problem change, and the status will be updated with surprise information, with surprise result. Uh, I believe that. So uh, even you say that one of the team members said, don't worry, we are in the good track and so on. So this is a very common word used by the project team. Uh, if you don't do the proper project monitoring through meeting, maybe you can do a Skype or you can do a Zoom every week and ask about your workshop to among your team members, among your friends. So you will deal with the issue and problem if you don't practice this project monitoring regularly. Yeah. So how to monitor project status? So there are a few steps how to monitor the project status. First is you capture work status. So what is a capture work status? So you need to collect the data from the project members. Uh, for example, to collect the quality and progress information on the project for assessing current status. Example, you collect the numbers of programming program uh, which is already code. How many program completed? How many programs in terms of method, classes, or package? If you use a project, if you use object-oriented programming, so of course you will produce a package, classes, and methods. So you can collect method, how many method already completed, how many classes already uh, integrate, how many packages you package. Yeah. So if you don't follow the object-oriented, maybe you can ask about the numbers of module completed. Yeah, or subsystem completed. Another step is a derive a progress indicator. So what is a progress indicator? So project manager should roll up the primitive metric reported by the project team to provide a full picture of the project progress. So this is also output from the capture work status. So after you collect the information about the development status, for example, yeah, uh, so you can get the indicator. So you will know that your project or your software development lifecycle status indicator. Indicator means uh, maybe your project is on track or your project is ahead of schedule or behind of the schedule. Yeah, indicator means you know the status of the project. Okay, next step is derive the quality indicators. So the project manager monitor the quality of the project artifacts. Yeah. So this is another monitoring step or approach where you uh, check, yeah, you check the artifact uh, of your project. Project artifact means after you complete your software development lifecycle reports, then you have a common common storage or common, or right now, nowadays we can use a GitHub, for example. From the GitHub, you can store all your project artifacts. Or if you don't use a GitHub, so you create one drive, for example, a cloud drive, then you create a directory for each of the project phases. For example, project plan. Then what is the deliverable? So the SDP, the SDP review, the SDP version 1, version 2. And then another directory you create software requirement analysis. So under software requirement analysis, you expect that the software requirement analysis report is there, and all the review report, comment report from the user is there. Yeah, and then you create another directory for SRS, for example. Yeah, you develop the SRS document, you construct the system, the use case, the use case flow, use case descriptions, all the SRS artifact will be stored in that directory. Or a simple way, you use the GitHub, and GitHub will do everything for you. You can produce a report. So how many artifact completed for today, for example. So they will produce a report. Okay, from that artifact, project manager can collect the information, and this is one of the monitoring effort. Yeah. So another step of monitor project status is evaluate the indicator versus plan. So when you get the progress indicator, yeah, then you start to compare, with the plan that you already derived, already defined in the beginning of the project. Okay, and then from that you know that you can evaluate, have all planned tasks been completed, have all artifacts been published, and is the estimated effort to complete tasks that are in progress within the plan. Okay, so this is a way how you monitor the project status. Yep. So this is all. I wrote this slide. Project monitoring is based on the experience. Yeah. So maybe you cannot find in the book, but if you find in the book, maybe similar effort is done all over the world. So project manager role, this is very important. Project monitoring is very important task for the project manager. So project monitoring status input. So this is how we want to get the information. Input means the source of information to be used for monitoring the software development lifecycle status. Yeah. So you can get the information, the project status, from the software development plan. So like I told you just now, so we start with the software development plan. So software development plan define what you plan for your projects. Yeah, what you plan about the software development for the entire project. Let's say your project is 3 years, so in software development plan you define and you describe what to do for the 3 years project. So the software development plan is the best input. So we can check back, we can review back the plan which is described in the software development plan. So you can use that information for you to monitor the project. Okay, so for example, you take the project schedule and then you check with the actual progress. Okay, so another input is project schedule. So of course the project schedule is defined in the software development plan. So the timeline and milestone, timeline is one, this milestone is another things that is very important to define. Yeah, milestone means, let's say, you construct the SRS, then what is the milestone? Yeah, the milestone define, yeah, when you can finish the construction of the SRS. Okay, during to along the construction of the SRS, there are many activities, for example, to achieve the final milestone. So the final milestone is uh, we try to get the or we will produce the uh, reviewed SRS, the final SRS. So that is the milestone for the SRS, construction of SRS. So from the construction of SRS, of course, there are many activities. For example, conduct the interview, conduct the discussion with the user, review the sorry, uh, you record and compile all the requirement, and then you conduct the review session of the requirement with the user, and finally you get the sign off of the SRS. Also, same process will be occurred in another stage or another phase, which is construction of uh, design of the system. Yeah, you start with a high level design. Yeah, you start to construct the system architecture, detailed design, and etc. So another input is a risk management plan. So remember that we ask you to produce the project risk project risk management plan. Yeah, risk and also the risk resolution. So we rank the risk and we plan the resolution, how to mitigate the uh, prospect risk. And then another input is a review record. The review record is created to capture the result of the review of the project artifact. Okay, let's say you have a review minute for the SRS, for the project plan, for the design. Then from that review a minute, so uh, you can go through the minute. Maybe you can check at the action or issue during the discussion. So that can be used uh, for for your monitoring report. Yeah, so a lot of information or data can be extract from that review record. So project monitoring status output, and after you complete your project monitoring, so what is the output? Yeah, of course you will produce the project measurement report. Yeah, it contains most current project resources, status, current project status, resources, how many resources you have currently, yeah, how many staff already resigned, how many new staff that we hire, yeah, and so on. And then of course the output is you will get the status, yeah, where you are you in schedule, are you behind the schedule, are you difficult to say. Yeah, difficult to say that maybe you got a problem and you don't know how to say. Okay, so anyway you will say that your project got problem. So after you produce the project monitoring status output, you know you can measure your project and then uh, you can predict the project status of your software development lifecycle project. Then you need to report the status. So what is the meaning of report status? You update your top management, you update your project director. Yeah, so the purpose of project report status is to provide a regular update on the uh, project stakeholder. Of course, the user will expect something from the money that they invest to the project. So of course they very keen to know because they invest the money. So this involve money. Yeah. So are you happy that your money lost or or useless by the project? You expect certain investment, certain good return of investment. So of course not. Yeah. So you expect something positive, from the investment that you put in a certain project. So another purpose of the report status, you escalate the issue beyond your project, beyond your capability, or beyond your authority, for example. Yeah. Example, budget. You need, because the budget is increased, so you need to get approval from the uh, top management, or the amendment of the contract. Yeah. Maybe some of the requirement breach the contract, so you need to amend the contract. So step to prepare the status assessment. So I think this one you can read first. uh, you need to check the technical progress. Technical progress mean you need to go down to your project team, so ask the project leader to conduct the meeting on the technical aspect. Yeah. And also you will conduct another aspect of meeting on the overall high level, for example, regarding the functionality, yeah, regarding on the integration, regarding on the supplier, regarding on the consultant performance. Yeah. So that is can be categorized under technical progress also. But if the meeting is purpose on the high level, so better you don't invite the programmer or the low level staff involved, because they because this will out of their scope. Yeah, it's better that let them do their work. Yeah? Do a programming work effectively. Okay, you need to check the budget progress, check progress against schedule, check total project scope, check personal staff status, check risk status, issue risk or hazard, check issue arising, issue raised in the project, both, yeah, technical issue or human issue, people issue. So there are many issues when you manage a project, I believe that. And then you need to review action item, a list of action item from previous status assessment and the current status. So review it. So you need to capture, you need to check, you capture, you review. Yeah. So this is a step of prepare status assessment. Uh, this is good process for your a good step to check status assessment of your workshop too. Yeah. If you are project leader, you can use this checklist to make sure that the project, your workshop project, is on time, and you need to know the current status of the workshop too. Okay, this is a handling exception and problem. So when you do uh, project monitoring, of course, you will get a problem. You will encounter problem and exception. Exception means uh, a very odd issue, a very odd problem. Like you will see this picture, all a green apple, but in the middle we have a red apple. So this is odd, yeah, among the green apple. So although the issue is very odd or very exception, uh, so you need to resolve it. Yeah, you need to handle it. So so the step is to evaluate the exception and problem, determine appropriate correction, and issue change request. Yeah. So it's very easy. When you face the problem or exception issue, so you need to evaluate the problem. Evaluate means you analyze it. Yeah. Do some analysis. So don't accept it and then you start finger pointing. No, you need to evaluate. Evaluate mean involve the investigation, involve the analysis of the problem. Yeah. So first thing that you need to as a project manager you need to be cool, yeah, cool. So don't panic, and then you determine the appropriate correction. So after you take time to evaluate, analyze the problem, then think about the solution. Yeah? And then if the problem is genuine, then you issue the change request. It's very easy. Write down the change request, or of course you need to design a standard form to issue a change request in the project. So any issue or any request, so use a same or standard form, yeah, for the user or you to report it and then escalate it to the change management board. Yeah. So evaluate exception and problem. So this is first step to evaluate each of the identified problem. So you need to zoom, identify the cause of the problem. Let's say you want to plant a tree, chili tree. Uh, so if your chili is not grow, so you need to identify the cause. Maybe the nutrition is not enough. So you need to change the nutrition. You need to add more the nutrition. Maybe every week you have to give a nutrition to your chili tree. Yeah. Same to the software project development project. So you need to find the cause of impacts, the cause of the problem. So zoom to the problem and then resolve it. So if you encounter on the people issue, then call them and call the project leader and also the respective person involved in the issue, and then you resolve it. I think within 1 hours or 2 hours the problem will be resolved. If they got a personal problem, so I think they will shake hand each other. Yeah. If you call them for a good discussion, a positive discussion, and stress to them that this is a works, no personal interest. So we should be professional, uh, in managing the project or in handle a problem in work environment. And then you determine what option, yeah, during the discussion, and you should also determine if possible solution are within the authority of the project team to implement. So try to finish or try to resolve the problem as soon as possible. Yeah, the longer that you keep the problem, the longer or the more risk that you will encounter. Okay, I think this is a determine appropriate corrective during the session of discussion among the problematic person. So you can ask the person to suggest any corrective action. Yeah. Let's say the staff got personal problem, discipline problem. So ask them what they can improve in future. In the next month or the next day, what they should do to improve their disciplinary problem. Okay, if let's say the project got problem in the technical uh, factor, so you can ask the consensus, ask the suggestion, the your staff to provide the suggestion, yeah? Propose any resolution, yeah, so that you can resolve the issue as soon as possible. Okay, this is a chain request or work order. Chain request means uh, you have a new requirement from a request by the user, so which is the requirement is not stated in the original software requirement analysis report. So we need to uh, we need to uh, create a chain request uh, report. So normally chain request will attach with the chain request number, yeah, so that we easy to keep track and we easy to monitor the chain request number one or number two or number three. So by end of the month, we know that how many chain requests issued by the user or team members. Okay, so once the corrective action for each problem or exception has been determined and any necessary approval, the project manager document the work involved and raise chain requests and work order to initiate the work. So that means the chain request form will be filled in by the chain request or requester, so that we understand what the problem, what are the purpose, what is the objective of the change. Yeah? So when we accept the change, so it will impact the project schedule, the original project schedule. So that's why the chain request control is very important element when you manage the software development lifecycle. So this is don't see this chain request or changes is a small thing. So if you do your uh, workshop tool, if your supervisor keep asking to change, so it will trouble you, right? So you need to control the chain request by recording the chain request uh, order from the your supervisor, yeah, so that when your workshop late to be delivered, then you have a reason why the workshop is failed to deliver on time, or your workshop got many problem in terms of uh, application stability. There are many errors, bugs, yeah, when you run the system. So this course is about the change. Yeah. So if the change is happen in the after the design, it will affect the entire project architecture, project design. Maybe your table structure will be changed. The length of the field is changed or reduced, change in terms of the format. So it will affect uh, your program or your code. You need to cater at all angle. Especially when you do object oriented, so you need to make sure that the integration among classes accept the changes of the format of the data. Yeah. So this is very critical part. So the chain request is very important. Yeah. So the project manager must control. We don't say to the customer or the user that the changes cannot be catered. Yeah, or cannot be accepted, but we accept with condition. Yeah, maybe we accept and then we evaluate. Then we can say that we can ask the user whether this change is critical to their business, or just nice to have. Yeah? So you have to discuss and have to argue with the customer whether the changes uh, is critical to be have in the system. Okay, this is an example of case study how to address annoying and continual chain requests from the web design client. So I believe that you don't see the the importance C of the chain request right now, because you are doing your project alone. You are not dealing with many party in the project. So and your project is very small, then you cannot appreciate the chain request process or chain request management. Okay, in summary, project monitoring is important as it capture the project status and progress. Monitoring is very important. Without monitoring, you don't know the status of the project. So like you 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 walk in the dark channel, uh, so you don't know what happened to your project. So project monitoring provide crucial input on project status, either the project is behind, on time, or ahead of schedule. So this is very important. You should know, yeah, your project is behind of schedule or on time or ahead of the schedule. This is very important. As a project manager, you should know like a fingertip. So through monitoring exercise, issue, problem, changes, and exception could be triggered at early stage. So if you do monitoring process regularly, uh, hope hopefully, not hopefully, I think it is make sure that you can ensure your project uh, can be delivered accordingly. Yeah. Maybe delay 1 week or 1 month. 1 month is normal, and then you get the answer why the project is delayed. Yeah. But I think in workshop 2 you cannot delay. Yeah. Once the presentation date is published, so you cannot defer. So if you defer, then you should, it's a normal process, right, in the project also. If you want to defer, so you need to justify to your uh, supervisor. That's it. So alternative action plan could be determined effectively if the project is monitored accordingly. So when you practice the project monitoring, so not to see that the project is never got a problem. So at least you can manage the problem. Yeah, in your life also, I don't think that if you work in one company and then you got a problem, then you resign and so you go another company, and then you not feel better in the second company, you move another company. So actually you run away from the problem, you are not managing the problem. Yeah, so anywhere you go, the problem is there. So uh, it is important that how you manage the problem, how you manage the environment you encountered. Yeah, so don't run away from the problem. So you need to resolve the problem. Maybe the problem is come from you. Yeah, you cannot adopt the environment, or you cannot being as a friend, very difficult to get a friend. uh, you are not easygoing, yeah, with other people. So this this problem you need to resolve by yourself, or you need to see the counselor, for example. Yeah, if a bad case. Yeah, so maybe you can read the book, many book, how to easily uh, to get easygoing with other people. Yeah, so this is a process of life. You uh, young generation, of course you will face a lot of new things in the life. Yeah, so I think that's it for this chapter, and I hope, yeah, you not hope, so you need to listen this video until finish. So I see that uh, there is a discrepancy, between the video that I posted, between uh, the attendance, yeah, that you check in. So I saw that the check in is more than the view in the video. So you are already adult student. I think I cannot, or I don't need to remind you every week, every time. So you are already adult, and you need to show your maturity. eh? And then the most important thing that uh, you need to practice the honesty, yeah, student. So when you honest, then when you acquire the information, so the information will be keep in your heart, in your mind, in long long time or long way. Yeah? So information is very important. If you information is very important to acquire through a honest way. Yeah. So that's it. If you happy with this video, press the like, or you can share this video to your friend, uh, to other university. Yeah. Okay, that's it. See you later, and assalamualaikum.